Oh my god, it's Mr. Steins himself.
Oh, right. I forgot. We've gone back in time again, and we gotta...
Let's not worry about how he got through the part where he was supposedly captured by, what was it, Stratfor?
Yeah, that seems tough.
Yeah, we're just going to hand wave that, all right? I think the anime went into a little bit more detail on like some of the issues that actually would have cropped up while trying to make that journey, but like I didn't want to. I actually think the way that the anime expands on that scene actually helps fill it out a bit more, make it feel a bit more rounded rather than just a, well, that was interesting. But regardless.
Maybe he was only in Stratfor custody for less than the time window. Well, they just carefully scheduled it.
Wow, okay. That's a very small time to be in Strat. Maybe they have to let him use the machine, the microwave, every so often as... prisoners' rights.
Yeah.
Daru, you've got Kurisu's laptop and hard drive, right?
Yep, I got it from Mahotan and hid it somewhere it wouldn't be found easily.
As soon as we're done with Amadeus, destroy them.
You're sure?
He looked back at Maho, and this time she nodded.
Yeah, but let me do it. If anyone's gonna kill Kurisu, it better damn well be me. None of you fucks knew her well enough to kill her. Actually, you know what? Okabe, you can if you want to. I feel like I should.
Okay.
The problem now was Amadeus. Maho, do you still have access to... Oh, right. We're supposed to be in Ho in Kyoma mode now. So a little bit more dramatic and a little bit less sad sack. Maho, do you still have access to Amadeus' server?
Well, I mean, yeah, I should. Hashida, can I borrow your computer?
Oh, sure. Just a second.
I was just thinking, we haven't had a good CG for, like, photoshopping in a good while, have we? Can we get one of those in before the end of the route? Think?
Daru motioned for her to stop with one hand and started typing something onto the keyboard.
What are you doing, Daru-nyan?
Just some tricks to make sure our IP isn't tracked. Okay, go ahead.
Is it weird to anyone else we don't have any music for this scene?
A little bit, yeah.
Maho took over from Daru at the computer.
Huh? That's... strange. I can't access it.
What do you mean?
You mean you've got the wrong password?
I wouldn't make that mistake. Do you know how many times I've entered that password?
Maho tried the password a few more times, but she still couldn't access the server.
Looks like my access has been revoked. What's going on with this? I'll give the professor a call.
Maho took out her phone and called Dr. Leskinen. She put her phone next to her ear for a moment and then frowned and put it down.
No good. It's not picking up.
She tried calling Dr. Reyes as well, but that didn't work either.
Jeez, what is going on with this thing?
I guess it wouldn't be that easy now, would it? If Maho's access rights had been taken away, that must have meant someone was about to do something. Let's try another approach. Can you hack the Victor Condria University servers?
Okay, just give me a second.
Oh, I love that they've got a fucking ASCII art logo when you sign in.
Oh, be still, my beating heart.
I always include one of those in the source code of my websites when I make them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow, you nerd. Wait, what is that behind it in the upper left corner? That looks like the iTunes interface. The blue-white alternating, that's like the Apple thing right there.
Yeah, it totally does.
Huh.
You're making it sound easy. Our lab security is pretty tight.
Don't worry. My Daru is a super hacker.
You mean a hacker, man.
It's better than the anime where I call you a hack. He had broken CERN security in just 20 hours. I had absolute faith in him. and Daru and Maho were staring at the screen and discussing something. He was probably asking her for details to make his hacking more efficient. I needed to do what I could while I waited. I went back into the development room and opened up a box that had just arrived that day. Yum, Pocky. Mayuri looked over my shoulder and into the box.
Wow, it's a microwave.
I'm not using it to heat up your fried chicken now, all right?
Too bad. I was going to make some juicy chicken #1 for everybody if they were hungry.
First, I needed to reconstruct the phone wave. After that, I'd have Maho help me make the time leap machine. On my way back from the future, I'd memorized every bit of how it worked, so it didn't take very long. I actually kind of believe that because it seemed to me like from how they were putting it together that a lot of it was just an understanding what needed to happen that made it difficult and unintuitive. But like if you knew that it would be easy to put together as if you had the correct parts.
Yeah, like the machine itself was nothing special. They tried to make a machine where you could dial a phone number to start the microwave.
Right, they made it completely by accident at one point.
So you don't need to know shit about time travel to make it.
It's really just that particular confluence of things that they happen to get right that one time.
Yep.
That learning how to recreate that is the trick. Classic $5 for the hammer swing and $3,000 for knowing where to hit it.
Yep.
Ashita, you're amazing.
It was about 30 minutes later when I heard Maho's odd voice. That was A-W-E-D, not O-D-D. Her voice sounds perfectly normal, I'll have you know. Did you get it?
For a top quality hacker like me, this is nothing.
Oh, my super hacker could hack the Gibson. The name super hacker ain't just for show, huh? All right, see if you can find Amadeus's data.
Hold on, I'm opening it now.
I swallowed and looked at the screen as I listened to the mouse click.
It's gone. Amadeus. Kurisu's memories. All of the folders that should be there are gone.
So someone took it already. Wait. I unlocked my phone and called up the home screen. Amadeus's icon was still there. Do you think you could access Amadeus from this app? Maho looked over at my phone.
I don't know. If Amadeus's data is gone from the server, I don't think it would work. Give it a try, I guess. What's wrong?
I was just thinking about what I'd do if it connected. I need to be careful.
That's right. Someone might be watching you.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Daru?
Look, there's a folder with another lock on it.
Which one?
Maho leaned forward and stared at the monitor.
Oh my god, thank goodness for background music. I was starting to get anxious. That's strange. That didn't used to be there.
They carefully hid it by placing it in what appears to be the system root. A completely obvious place where anyone would look. It's pretty heavily secured, way more than the rest of the system.
Was that where Amadeus was moved, do you think? But who would do that? Only Dr. Leskinen has that level of authority, right?
Maybe Dr. Leskinen's up to something and we don't know it. Or maybe something happened to him. Neither possibility was appealing. Daru, we'll leave that folder alone for now. Next, I want you to hack Stratfor's servers.
Huh? Stratfor? Why?
Ha 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 ha, future knowledge, bitch. They're probably involved in all of this. You've done it once before, can you do it again?
Wait, how did you know that? Are you psychic?
Daru, just came from the future. We've been over this. Keep up. Who do you think I am? I am the mad scientist of madness that knows all.
Give me a sec.
He said as he typed something else into the computer.
Strat for servers. Got it.
I could tell he'd done it once before. Oh my god, look at those old-ass Word document icons. Oh, that's delightful. This time he got through a lot faster than it took him to break into the university.
So, you just want me to find data on that Amadeus system?
Hold on!
Maho leaned her tiny body forward again and took the mouse from Daru. She clicked on an icon. FSCK. Fuck. All of these are like only 2 bits of. I can't really get anything.
Yeah.
But it's very funny.
That's just like the name of a utility thing. That's a normal word in Linux land.
I think the Linux people were having a laugh at your expense. The screen then filled with some kind of text.
This is a report.
She opened several more files, but since they were written in English, we couldn't read them.
What is all this?
What are these reports about?
Experiments. Stratfor was experimenting on humans.
Experimenting on humans?
Looks like Stratfor was working on a human memory transplantation. They did a lot of experiments trying to transfer memories from one person to another.
Memory transplant experiments. That was...
They started with animals, but by the end they were using live humans. Use people with no relatives as subjects, kids, adults, people from different ethnic backgrounds.
She looked down at the report again. What is it? Is there something else?
It looks like they're about to start a new memory transplant experiment.
It was safe to assume the experiments had something to do with the time machine. They were trying to force open the black box of Kurisu's memories in order to gain information about the time machine. Even if they couldn't get the password for the laptop from Amadeus, if they could access her memories directly, it would give them everything they needed. It was just like what had been done to Kaguri in the last worldline, but on a more advanced level. Our priority now is finding Kurisu's memory data. Daru, do you think it's there? He took the mouse back from Maho and sighed.
Nope, no luck. I'm not seeing anything.
What was going on? Hadn't Stratfor stolen the Amadeus data from Victorchondria?
That university server is the most suspicious, the one with the locked folder.
You're right, Daru. No one locks folders.
Unless they're full of porn.
You know what my old strategy for the porn folder was? I didn't lock it or anything. I just, I had it underneath a series of files that said, yeah, you found the porn folder. If you click on this, that's what you're going to find. This is your last chance to turn back. I don't know why you'd want to keep clicking on this. I've been very forward with you about what's in here.
No, your more recent strategy is to put completely benign non-porn files in folders that have names that are incredibly sus so that it seems like they'll be porn. Do I remember that correctly?
Wait, what? Since when have I done this?
I feel like you did that on the desktop, that there was just normal files in folders labeled porn or something.
Oh, you know what? That does sound like something I would do. That does sound like something
I could have sworn that was a thing.
Just keeping it interesting, that's all.
Or maybe it was your old laptop or something.
That might be it, because I don't remember them on the new, especially the new desktop that we just, although I guess it is Bessie's 2's stuff.
To think of it, we just did a memory data transplant between Bessie 2 and Bessie 3.
Oh my god, we did! Except it wasn't a memory transplant, it was like transplanting the whole brain.
Yeah.
It was like the kind they do in, what is it, Heavenly Delusion?
I haven't got that far yet, have I?
Really? Go read Heavenly Delusion. Fucking wild. I want to watch the anime, but it's on some streaming service I'm never going to use for anything else, so it's I can't. Anyway, which meant that they were working without stealing the data. Did they hack it like we did, or...
What's the plan?
We'll believe Maho. Daru, can you get us in?
I can, but it's going to be a pain.
How long is it going to take?
I couldn't tell you. Might take more than 12 hours.
If Daru said so, it must have been really heavily protected.
And if they catch me hacking halfway through, it's all over.
I see. We needed to hack in to get rid of Kurisu's memory data. And until Daru finished, we needed to keep Stratford distracted. The problem was, how? What happens to my location data when I'm talking to Amadeus?
It all gets recorded, of course. The people who got Amadeus' program can see it.
I thought so.
Question is, do I contact her or not?
First, I needed to see if the app even worked anymore. If it did, I had an idea. Maho, can I ask you something crazy?
I don't know why, but the answer is an emphatic yes. Is this what Kurisu was feeling? Oh God. When did he get charismatic?
It's when he says weird shit and stops making any sense. It's odd. He's some sort of reality warper, and you just kind of go along with it.
Is that why you've let him in your butt that one time?
That's canon. That happened. A full day had passed since the operation began. Daru still hadn't managed to break the lock on that folder. Thankfully, they hadn't detected him yet, but that didn't mean we were safe. While Daru did his work, I finished my own and then handed the rest off to Maho. My actions might have changed the future already, but we still had to do our jobs.
Hey, I'm here and I'm not looking happy about any of this.
Suzuha had her arms crossed, expression stern. She had been that way for a while. At a glance, she looked calm, but I could see her tapping her arm with her index finger.
Uncle, is there nothing I can do?
We were finally ready to stop the Third World War. It had to bother her that there was nothing she could do. It had to be stopped as soon as possible, but all she could do now was wait. She was frustrated and on edge, but that was true of everyone else. Just wait a little longer. Daru and Maho are doing their best. Once Maho completed what I asked for, there would be something we could do as well.
I'm gonna go get us something sweet to eat, nya. Sweets are great when you're tired, nya.
Oh, then I'll go too.
Just as the two of them stood up, the development room's curtain opened.
What? Why are we all looking at me? What's going on?
Maho flinched a little as everyone stared at her, but she quickly smiled, and then she thought better of it and tried to look more serious.
Sheesh. You didn't have to ask me to do this all at once, did you?
I'm so sorry, but is it done?
I did what you told me to, I guess.
The microwave in the back was connected to a different headset than the one I'd seen last year. It was the same one she'd used to take my memories. That's why she'd been able to finish this in such a short time. A time leap machine. So it was done then. Now even if I had to time leap from the future, I could go back to 48 hours from now.
And this too.
She offered me a pair of smartphones. These gadgets would be our secret weapons in the upcoming battle. I had Maho make them as well. They used a simple AI to create a pseudo-response algorithm that would deceive our opponents.
This is really high-tech stuff, really cutting edge.
Remember, this is supposed to be like 2010.
It's just fucking, what was that one chat bot?
Oh, I don't remember. Which one are you talking about?
That one that everybody thought was the coolest shit when I
Yeah.
was in like middle school.
I don't remember. I never got that far into that. Can't believe you were able to make an AI in such a short time.
You're the one who told me to do it.
Her face looked exhausted.
I had the voice software I used for Amadeus, so I was able to build it quicker. And this isn't anything as complicated as an actual AI. You really think you can fool her with this? It's Kurisu we're talking about here.
We just have to deceive her for a short time. All we need to do is keep their eyes off of Daru's hacking. The goal was just to keep Stratford confused. We didn't need to hold a long conversation. We just took it up for a short time and end the call shortly afterward. It was time to get started. But first... I hit the send button on a message I'd already typed to Makise Kurisu. Do it just like we discussed. Once it was done, I turned toward the group. I will now explain the operation. Suzuha, Mayuri, Ferris, Lukako, I offer them the phones that had just been given by Maho. I'm going to have you pair off. Then I want you to take these phones and move around the city. It would be best to have the pairs as far apart as possible. One can take the Chuo line and the other can take the Yamanote line. Stay in touch, use the app on the phones called Amadeus. While Daru was doing his hacking, I'd left Akihabara and tried to contact Amadeus from Tokyo's station. And it had worked. Kurisu had responded. I'd cut it off instantly, but I was sure of it. The app was still working, and this plan was going to use it.
What do we do once it's running?
Amadeus is an AI made from the memories of a girl named Kurisu Makise. We're going to deceive her. That's right, our goal was to deceive Kurisu. When we contacted Amadeus, the enemy would know where we were. My plan was to take advantage of that fact. When you boot up the Amadeus app, it will start another program as well.
What's the other program, Nya? Can you hit the icon with the S right there? This one, Nya?
Ferris tapped her phone, which is frankly impressive with those giant mittens she's always wearing.
And you can see the inside. It's not like it's just mitten backs with like actual tactile. Then again, like I maybe she has fancy ones that do have like touchscreen readable paws.
Hello, it's me.
Wow, it's Okarin's voice.
Try talking to it.
What's up, Nya?
Nothing really. I just wanted to talk to you a little.
Wow, it automatically answers, huh?
What I'd asked Maho to make was a simple program that detected words and phrases in a conversation and replied with a set pattern. You could call it an artificial non-intelligence.
It's a bot made by Okarin and myself. We call it Salieri.
Thanks to the famous movie, Salieri was known as a lesser man with an inferiority complex, but in reality, he was a very talented composer. Something I have felt the need to remind Maho of constantly. Felt a bit rude to the real Salieri to give his name to something like this, but there wasn't time to worry about that now. Once you activate Amadeus, our bot is set to automatically respond to it.
In other words, we can make them think that it's you talking.
That's right.
Can I keep this app for reasons?
Yes.
Yay!
One other thing the anime does is they show more of the Seishin Zanma sword style in action. Like there's actually an action sequence where we get to see future Luca.
There is.
It's pretty great. Which meant that Amadeus would think I was where they were. Would have liked to have more terminals, but since Amadeus needed the cell phone to be registered with its systems, there weren't many that I could use. All I had were my phone and Maho's, but for a short period it would be enough. Of course, Maho's phone had her own version of Salieri. And then there was the message I'd sent to Moeka's Rhine. The plan was for her to spread information indicating that Maho and I had Kurisu's laptop and hard drive. Even if they were doing the memory experiments, they still wouldn't want someone else getting their hands on them. Sooner or later, they'd pick up on that information and come after me with everything they had. Amadeus was in their hands. If Amadeus's location data told them I was there, they would come looking. But we wouldn't be there at all. And then they'd get a call from someplace completely different and head there. The plan was to keep them occupied with that and keep their eyes off the server hacking. That is your mission. Everyone nodded. I'll say it again. You must absolutely not make contact with Amadeus for an extended period of time. And once you hang up, you need to move. If something happens, call me immediately. You need to do these things no matter what. Do you understand?
What should I do?
Kaguri raised her hand hesitantly. They know your face. You should stay here.
But I want to help too. I don't want to do nothing while Mommy and everyone else are helping.
Well, this was a problem.
Please, Okarin, let me help too.
I understood how she felt, but I still couldn't put her in danger. I'm sorry, but...
Kagari, Mayushi's gonna work hard for you too, so do as Okarin says, okay?
TBH, when you have an operation this big, it doesn't hurt to have someone who's just like on refreshment duty. Like, I don't have the technical experience to do any of this, and I can't really go anywhere else, so I'll just make sure y'all are good for...
Need a top up on your coffee?
TBH, while you're focused on something else, having someone just be like, you need a top up on that? Yes. There's no problem with just being the support role.
Effectively the healer class.
Effectively the healer class.
Okay, if you say so, Mommy.
That seemed to be good enough for her.
Uncle, shouldn't we hide Kaguri somewhere until all of this is over?
Maybe, but where? If we were going to hide her, it would have to be at Lukaku's house or Ferris's place.
Why not go to my hideout?
Hideout? You've got a hideout.
I've got a lot of them, thanks to my job. If you want one, it's yours.
Well, all right then, it's settled. Are you okay with that, Kaguri?
Yeah, all right.
The good news is that there will be a lot of reading material. The bad news is that you will not want to read any of it. The issue is that I couldn't leave Kaguri alone.
Who's this?
I'm almost certain this is going to be Moeka.
Okay.
Is there something I could do?
No,
Oh.
it's Amada Yuki.
Hi! I have this voice, but it's a little bit higher. I haven't been here in a while. How is everyone doing? Where's that girl that looks suspiciously like me but younger?
Huh? I turned around and saw that at some point Yuki had entered the room.
Oh, Yuki. Ashita gave me a key to the lab, so, you know.
She showed us the key in her hand apologetically.
And last night I called him and he seemed like he was really busy with something, so I brought him some snacks.
See? Refreshment duty.
Refreshment duty.
Like
It's
you
a
said.
really important job.
She put the key away, then showed us a bag with the logo of a local cake shop in it.
I don't know what's going on, but I was hoping there would be something that I could do, you know?
But we can't get you involved, since you work for Stratfor and all that, clearly.
What? What is that about? Who told you?
Did I already give up on the Yuki works for Stratfor meme?
It's been a while, but you can keep going if you want. No, she just has to stay with Kaguri. It should be fine. Before, I thought maybe it was Yuki who'd attacked the lab, but looking back, that was wrong. If she was the woman in the motorcycle suit, there was no need to do something so elaborate. She could have just used the fact that she was in the same circle as Kaguri to invite her somewhere and kidnap her. There was no need to take the risk of attacking the lab. Thank you. All right, Yuki, you stay with Kaguri. I want you staying at Daru's hideout until this all blows over. He can tell you where to go. Once things calm down, I'll tell you what's going on.
All right. That sounds great.
Yuki nodded. Now everything was ready. I looked around at everyone in the lab. All right, guys, now just follow the plan. And...
Wait, Ocarine.
What?
You don't want to say goodbye to Kurisu?
Goodbye. Amadeus was an artificial intelligence. She was an artificial being, not Kurisu herself.
Say goodbye, okay? So you won't regret it.
Mayuri handed back the phone I'd just given her. You're right. Oh. Can you all just give me a minute?
Okay.
I left Mayuri and Lukaku behind and went to Akihabara Bridge. If I made contact with Amadeus, she'd know where I was. So I had chosen this place. This was the first place I'd let Kurisu see how weak I was, back when everything seemed at its darkest. An advertising van passed by, blaring jaunty opera music at a loud volume that clashed horribly with its flashy paint job. I waited for it to get out of earshot before I tapped the Amadeus icon. She showed herself immediately.
It's been a long time.
That's right, it has.
I thought you'd forgotten me.
I hadn't forgotten. I could never forget. I've been busy. How many goodbyes had I said now? I'd say goodbye to her again and again, but I'd never gotten used to it.
So, what is it today?
There was something I wanted to ask you.
What? You want to know if you can make a time machine again? That was a joke. Keep going.
Just hypothetically, if you could give up your life to save a friend's, would you do it?
I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Answer me, please. She must have been able to tell from my words and expression that I was serious, because she took on a serious expression as well.
That friend's someone important to you, isn't it?
Yes.
There are still many things I want to do, many things I have to do, but even so, if I could make that friend and the people around me happy, maybe I would.
Kurisu.
Sorry, I've never had that happen to me, so all I can do is imagine. Which means I can't give you a real answer, but if there was still one person who would remember me, if there was still one person who wouldn't forget. Anyway, forget about me. Forget about what happened today and everything that came before. That's what I want.
I can't forget.
Huh?
Never. I will never forget. This was a vow to get me through the time to come.
Okabe?
I'm sorry for asking something so silly.
No, I don't mind. Did something happen?
No, it's nothing. It's nothing. Anyway, goodbye.
Wait.
What? Huh?
Oh, no, it just felt like I was never gonna see you again.
Kurisu. That's not true.
Of course, right? I don't know where I got that idea.
We'll see each other again. I promise you.
Yeah.
That's right. This wasn't goodbye forever. I'd see her again. So I won't say goodbye. Not until I see you again. I'll see you again.
Yeah, see you again.
Kurisu. Got no idea how long it will take, but I am going to reach you. I promise. I went back to Mayuri and Lukako and gave them the phone.
Did you say your goodbyes?
Yeah. I'm counting on you two.
Yep.
I watched them disappear into the crowded station and went back to the lab. That van was still playing its loud music as it drove down the street. 5 hours had passed since the operation had begun. The only sound in the room was of Daru's fingers on the keys. How's it going, Daru?
It doesn't look like they've found us.
Is it going to take a lot more time?
At least 3 hours.
I guess it wasn't going to be easy after all. Daru must have been exhausted, but he was still working. Mayuri and the others were sending me regular messages. Mayuri had paired off with Lukako and Ferris with Suzuha. Since they knew each other so well, and they were doing a great job of working together running around Tokyo. Suzuha had told me that she'd seen shady-looking people several times, and Moeka had sent me a message saying that they'd taken the bait. For now, the operation was succeeding without anyone getting hurt. But I didn't expect that to last forever. I wanted to get Kurisu's memory data deleted as fast as possible, but in the end, my only choice was to rely on Daru. I'm sorry about this, Daru.
You promised not to say that, buddy.
I remembered how he looked 25 years in the future. Even in that far distant future, he was still my friend.
Oh, Kareen, can I have a moment?
Until a little bit ago, Maho had been resting to recover from her exhaustion, but at some point she must have gotten up. Yes, what is it?
Come look at this.
She handed me a stack of papers. It was a printout of Stratford's report. She must have been looking at it after she'd woken up. What is all this?
It's a list of Stratford's experimental test subjects.
There were rows of names, sexes, and ages, and other information.
Look right here.
She pointed her small finger at one of the names. It said, Sheena Kagari. Sheena Kagari?
She was one of Stratford's guinea pigs.
Of course I'd known it was a possibility, but that's why they've been looking for her. And she had Kurisu's memories as well, but still, it was one thing to suspect it and another to see proof.
They never made it to the last phase of experiments, it looks like. Says she ran away just before they got the chance.
That made me feel a lot better. If Kagari still had Kurisu's memories, I would have seen a repeat of what happened in the last worldline. This must be another effect of the worldline change, but there was still no doubt that she had been in Stratford's hands for years, and she had been the subject of many experiments during that time.
I'm a little worried.
Worried? Maho must have been thinking the same thing I was. Kagari was alone with Yuki at Daru's hideout right now.
Who's calling me now? I'm busy.
The ringing that suddenly interrupted our conversation was coming from Daru's phone.
It's Amaneshi. I wonder what's up.
I had a bad feeling.
Yes, hello? Amaneshi, what is it? Did something happen? Huh? Kagari-tan was what?
What happened to Kagari?
She says she's gone.
What? I grabbed the phone out of his hands and put it up to my ear. It's me, Okabe. Is Kagari really gone?
Okabe, I'm so sorry. I was right next to her.
What happened? Did she get kidnapped?
No, Kagari left on her own. I tried my best to stop her, but she was so strong.
On her own? What was going on? Was Yuki really... No. That was impossible. If Yuki was working for Stratford, she wouldn't be calling me. But then why had Kagari run off on her own?
Can you put it on speaker? I want to hear this too.
I hit the button to switch the call to speakerphone.
Yuki, tell me more about what happened before Kagari ran off. Was there anything strange going on?
No, we were just talking.
Did you see or hear anything strange?
No. Oh, wait, come to think of it, I did hear some weird music from outside. It was like some kind of jingle from an advertising van. I remember it because it was really loud.
An advertising van? Was it the one I'd seen this afternoon?
That's it. I just read about it in that file. It was one of the experiments that Stratford did. The experiment involved brainwashing.
Brainwashing? Brainwashing?
I think she might have been brainwashed to behave in a certain manner if she heard a pre-programmed source of music. It's the only way to explain why she'd run off on her own right now.
The song that the van was playing. It was K6205. The magic flute, sent to lead Kagari astray.
File also said that she was an ideal candidate for the experiments and that they were still looking for her.
Ah, damn it! They probably had vans like that all over Japan, not just in Akihabara, and she'd fallen right into their trap.
What do we do, Okarin?
I don't know, but the game is slowing down for some reason. It's obviously Stratford that had gone after Kagari, which meant that all we could do was... And then there was another call. This time it was to my phone. I had Ferris prepare several cell phones for my use in this operation. One to use to call everyone, and one to give to Kagari. And... the call was coming from the phone I'd given to Kagari. It probably wasn't from her, though. Who could it be?
Rintaro Okabe, correct?
The digitally altered voice made the caller seem even more eerie. Yes, that's right. Who are you?
We have Kagari Shina. I don't need to tell you what we want, do I?
Kurisu's laptop and hard drive. Give me time to think.
Think? Think about what?
Think about why this game is chugging all of a sudden.
The exchange will take place tomorrow. We'll tell you where and how later.
They hung up. They want to swap her for Kurisu's computer and hard drive.
So, what's the plan?
We have the time leap machine? Call a do-over?
I can't believe Kagari was brainwashed.
Suzuha was gritting her teeth in frustration as she listened to us. I had her come back immediately after the call, and I brought Makise Kurisu to the lab as well. I want your honest opinion. If we do what they want, will they give us back Kagari?
No.
Makise gave her honest opinion.
I agree. They're willing to use dirty tricks like brainwashing. If they don't need her, they'll just kill her.
They might kill you too.
The only reason they would have called me specifically is that they knew I had information they wanted to keep hidden. After what I'd gone through already, I could safely assume they'd show me no mercy. And they were after what Kurisu had left behind. Her memories and her belongings. I didn't want them causing any more wars. Which meant there was only one thing I could do. I'll have to bust in and take back Kagari.
Really?
We have a fucking time machine.
We have a time
There's
machine.
options.
We can't just call a mulligan on this. It was dangerous, but it was the only way. Mayuri and the others were still out there fighting, which meant they should still think I was running around the city.
Bust in? You don't even know where they are.
I do, actually. Future knowledge, bitch.
Really? Uncle, when did you?
Suzuha, will you help?
I mean, yeah, okie dokie.
You know what? The okie dokie sounds right in that voice, doesn't it? I looked toward Makise, who shook her head.
I'm not willing to go that far.
I bet.
It's too dangerous to go alone.
No, it might be safer than going with a big group. And I knew that fate wasn't going to let me die for a little while longer.
Not gonna tell the other girls.
It would probably just worry them. Daru, keep working on that file lock and leave your phone on a call with me.
Okie dokie. Oh, fuck, it runs in the family.
Oh, fuck, it runs in the family. Uncle, here you go.
Suzuha handed me a semi-automatic pistol.
A Glock.
Protect yourself if you have to.
Okay. I hesitated but decided to take it. It was the first time in my life I'd ever held a gun, and it was a lot heavier than I expected it to be. The lights were still on at the building in Kanda. Even at this hour, the gate was open. That's how colleges were. As expected, we made it inside with no trouble. Man, it's kind of fucked up that was like how things went, but there was like a certain vibe to being on college campus at like 2 a.m. You know, with the like lights on and like one of the rooms just working on something.
Yeah.
That was absolutely a vibe. I don't know if it was a healthy one, but it was a vibe.
My favorite was in exam weeks when they'd have the library computer lab open overnight.
Yep. Not just the one in the cafe.
What?
Not just the one in the cafe.
No, that one, because that wasn't usually open all night, right?
No, I thought it was. I was
Maybe
in there
it
a whole lot of the time.
Okay. I thought they specifically had that one only open overnight on
No, I
exam
was in
week.
there so many nights outside of exam weeks.
TIL. I could have been doing that anytime.
Yeah, it was great. Because they some poor sod was obviously staffing the cafe part of it, but, you know, they made their money's worth.
Yeah.
Kagari's in here?
Yes, she should be. If Daru's information from 2036 was right, Stratford's base was here at my university, Tokyo Denki. Several buildings occupy the school's Kanda campus. Building 1, Buildings 5 through 7, and Buildings 11 through 15. Buildings 5, 6, 10, and 15 were scattered throughout the surrounding neighborhood, but the remainder were in their own little isolated area. The only two of those with basements were 11 and 15. My guess was that Stratford's base was here in Building 11. It was not only the building with the newest equipment, but it was the building with 17 floors and a lot of foot traffic going in and out. I didn't know how many people Stratford had working for them, but at least some of them had to have been out looking for me, which meant that this place would be less well guarded than usual. And I had Suzuha with me as well. This was doable. This way. I led Suzuha straight down the stairs. There were 3 elevators in the building, but Suzuha had decided that taking them would be dangerous. They could potentially be trapped. Oh, hey, this is a new background. We haven't seen this before. Huh. Neat. The problem was what lay down below. There were over 20 rooms of varying sizes in the 2-story basement. Which one of them was their base?
Uncle, this way.
You know where to go.
I remembered. I've infiltrated this place once before. When I was here, the place was falling apart. The outside looked totally different, but I am sure of it.
Future knowledge!
Future knowledge!
So convenient.
Isn't future knowledge so convenient? Suzuha led me down the corridors without hesitation. With her gun in her hand and her hips dropped low to the ground to avoid making noise as she ran, she looked just like a cat. She stopped in front of one of the rooms and nodded to me. It seemed no different than any of the others, but there was no nameplate on it. This was supposed to be a large generator room, as I recall.
I'll save Kaguri. You just protect yourself, Uncle.
Right. Why am I even here for this part, actually? I took the Glock out from my belt. It was heavy in my hands. Suzuha had taught me how to use it, but I'd never fired it before and wasn't sure that I'd be able to. But it would still serve as a bluff.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
After she finished her countdown, Suzuha shot off the doorknob, kicked open the door, and ran into the room. She did it all in one swift movement. I ran in after her and realized immediately that something was wrong. The first thing I noticed was the stench. It was an iron smell strong enough to make you puke. Blood. The floor of the room was covered with blood. There were bodies, too. 4 or 5 of them. Of course, Suzuha hadn't done it. It was already like this when we got here. What is going on? Suzuha was slowly working her way forward. I followed her. Some of the bodies were Japanese and some were American. The room continued on. A large man was lying face down next to a half-opened door, and next to him was...
You're here sooner than I expected, Rintaro.
No way. The voice saying my name was voluptuous and feminine, and its accent was foreign. And her hands were positioned weirdly. Oh, she's got pockets now. Dr. Reyes?
I'm glad you're doing well.
Why are... What?
I came to get something I was looking for.
And what were you looking... Oh, that's a new background as well, isn't it? That's a new background as well. Look at that chunky monitor on the monitoring equipment over there. That's delightful. Dr. Reyes spun around quickly and smoothly like a dancer. Kaguri was seated behind her. Kaguri!
It's no use. We've already got her in the sync machine.
Yeah, but then you need someone that's syncing with her, and then you can only do it for 6 minutes. What would that actually accomplish? You know, without spoiling anything, what would that accomplish? What's wrong, Kaguri? Can't you hear us? There was some kind of strange mechanical device over her head. No matter how much I called out her name, she didn't move an inch.
Oh dear, she's sleeping so peacefully. It would be rude to wake her up.
Hey, welcome to the CG, Dr. Reyes.
I've moved from the foreground into the CG.
That's impossible. You can only do that if you're an important character. And you are by far the least important character in this entire game. Her smile was sharp and cold, and completely lacked the warmth I'd seen when we first met.
Watch out, she's military.
Suzuha already had her gun drawn at Reyes, but Reyes didn't seem concerned in the slightest. Military? Tenoji had said that, come to think of it. The group looking for Kaguri was a Western military, and he wondered if a normal spy would have taken their own life.
And who might you be?
Give back Kaguri.
I love that face. I didn't know there was anyone in Japan with a face like that. Why don't you start by giving me your gun? If you don't, Kaguri Shina will die, you know?
The second she dies, you're dead as well.
I see. But I'm just one part of a larger organization. Killing me won't change a thing.
Suzuha. Suzuha laid the gun at her feet, frustrated.
Good girl. Now stand there with your hands behind your head. So, Rintaro, I believe I told you what the deal was. Did you bring them? Oh my, you're such a naughty boy. If you didn't bring them, then I can't let you have Kaguri Shina.
She'd said Kaguri was asleep, but when I looked closer I saw her eyelids weren't fully closed. From what little I could see of her eyes, they were empty and devoid of light. What did you do to Kaguri?
Unfortunately, nothing yet. I just played the lullaby they used with her. But if you're not going to accept my trade, then maybe I'll just get started.
She rubbed Kaguri's cheeks with the barrel of the gun, a look of ecstasy on her face. I've hidden Kurisu's laptop and hard drive somewhere special. You're not going to give me Kaguri, then I won't tell you where. Let Kaguri go first.
Negotiations are pointless, Rintaro. If you're not going to give me what I want, then I'll just do things my way.
It wasn't a threat or a bluff. Reyes was acting like this was an everyday conversation, with all the blood and stench around us that somehow made it even creepier. Did you do all this?
Yes, if they hadn't been so stupid, they might have managed to live a little longer. It's a shame.
Sidebar, you kept your lab coat white, pristine, the entire time, spotless?
Oh, I have spares.
Oh.
This is a Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
This is a Tuesday.
I was
me.
going to congratulate you on doing such a clean, professional job, but okay, that makes a lot more sense than what I had going on in my head.
After the first time you learned to bring a change of clothes, common faux pas,
I see.
newbie mistake.
Why would you do something like this?
It's simple. They figured out who I really am.
Who you really are?
Remember what she just said.
You're with the military?
And a scientist as well. Derpa. Not that that means anything to you, I'm sure. What?
Wait, what?
How's Maho talking?
She's on the phone that Okabe has still going.
Oh, okay.
DERPA. The Defense Ultimate Research Projects Agency? No way, Dr. Reyes is with them?
I could hear Maho's voice through my Bluetooth microphone. I left my phone connected to Daru so that we could stay in touch if we needed to.
Oh, Kareem, just get me a little more time.
Buy time? How? It would be impossible, but I'd asked Daru for the impossible many times before. Now it was my turn. I couldn't let her hurt Kaguri. Suzuha had lost her weapon. It'd be hard to do this by force. I just needed to keep her occupied. Why would someone from the military...
My team originally worked on brainwashing.
Brainwashing? That Kaguri...
Just so we're clear, it wasn't me who did this to her, it was them.
Them. She must have meant the people lying on the floor. I don't know if I believe that. Why would the military want to brainwash people anyway? There's no need to even ask, but I needed to buy time for Daru to finish his hacking.
You know why. We want soldiers who will do exactly as they're told. Our goal was to make the ultimate soldier who never complains, who never fears death, and who willingly sacrifices himself for his country. There's nothing unusual about it. It's been done all over the world for over a century. But then we realized that we could make the ultimate soldier without going through the hassle of brainwashing. An AI soldier.
An AI soldier? The name alone made it sound like the title of a cheap sci-fi movie, but that also just made it creepier. I see. So you implant an artificial intelligence into the soldier's brain. That would let you mass-produce highly intelligent and highly capable soldiers.
Huh.
You could just install the memories needed for special skills, too. You'll have a whole army of specialists ready for any mission imaginable.
That's right. Rintaro, you're quick on the uptake. And in the future, we'll be able to make soldiers capable of enhanced teamwork by a group consciousness, too. What do you think? Amazing, isn't it?
Can't do that. It's wrong.
That's what they all say.
I was worried that Suzuha might jump at her in fury, but she stayed completely calm. Reyes was right next to Kaguri. No matter how fast Suzuha was, without a gun, Kaguri was still in danger. If I knew Suzuha, she was watching the situation carefully and waiting for an opening.
Listen to me. We want stability. Our military is the only thing keeping the world peaceful. And if they have to sacrifice themselves to become the soldiers who can make that possible, I'm sure they won't mind too much.
It was selfish reasoning. There was no way I or anyone else could accept it. But... Interesting. Dr. Reyes. No! Just Reyes. You interest me greatly indeed.
Shit. Oh, no, not now. Fuck me. No.
I saw Suzuha's gaze dart over to me for just a moment. Her eyes seemed to criticize me, but she didn't say anything.
Rintaro.
My name is not Rintaro. My job right now was to keep her busy until Daru broke the lock on the files, which meant that now was the time to act. To act the part of the biggest fool I could. That was my job. My name is Poin Kiyoma, and I am the man who shall destroy the ruling structure of the world and plunge it into chaos.
What kind of joke is this?
I, the mad scientist of madness, Poin Kiyoma, admit it. You, Reyes, are moderately mad.
Oh, what?
Poin Kiyoma! Rintaro Okabe is the disguise I used to deceive the eyes of the world. This is my true identity. I am the mad scientist, reviving like the phoenix.
What am I hearing? You're screwed up, kid.
For a moment, her mouth had hung open in shock, but she quickly regained her cocky smile. But I couldn't back down now. Reyes, I already know what you've done thus far. You infiltrated Victor Condré University as a professor to work on your AI soldier project. And while you were there, you found out about Amadeus. Correct?
Yes, that's right. Amadeus was quite the interesting project, but what interested me more
She stepped on the body next to her, as if it were an object and not a human being.
were the traces I saw of their involvement. And just as I expected, I looked into it and found something incredible. You know what I found, right?
The time machine, yes? Reyes flashed me a dazzling smile and nodded. I see. The time machine, the impossible dream of all mankind. You learned of the paper that described how it would work. And you learned that if you could get it, the world would be yours to command. But you were a fool. Everyone like you thinks the same thing.
A fool?
Yes! A fool. Ruling the world, working for the nation, working for the organization. These are all the goals of petty men. If you would use the greatest invention of human history for those things, then you are a failure as a scientist.
I'm a soldier before I'm a scientist. I've offered my life to my country. If my country can command the world, that lets us keep every other potential threat in check. And that's what's best for the world and mankind.
Her voice was rising in excitement.
That's why we can't let any other country get it ahead of us. By obtaining this revolutionary theory before anyone else, we can keep the world's power balance the way it is. We can keep the world peaceful. We can't let another country, let alone a civilian corporation, get their hands on it first.
And that's why you've killed all these people? I'll say it again. You are a fool.
I see. I do feel bad about what I did to them.
She didn't really sound like she meant it.
The plan was to let them go a while longer and then take the data once they had it all.
Then why kill them at all?
One of the people I sent in to spy on them screwed up, so I do blame myself for that. But they're at fault too. DERPA hires civilian scientists. I offered them jobs, but they got greedy and started making demands. Losing talent like that is such a shame.
The corners of her mouth rose a little as she spoke. It didn't seem like she really felt that way at all.
So, Rintaro Okabe, I've got an offer for you. Why not work for DERPA?
What?
You look surprised. Why did you think I was telling you all this? Long villain monologues only exist in your Japanese samurai movies. Don't worry. We don't care about what country you're from. If you want, we can get you a green card.
In other words, you recognize my talent. You recognize the mind of Hoowin Kiyoma.
Of course. I wouldn't make this offer to someone without talent. You've certainly got it. And you're Kurisu Makise's friends too.
The real reason she was interested in me was probably the latter. It was far too obvious. I might have heard a thing or two from Makise Kurisu about her time machine theories. And that's what you're hoping for. And that's why you want me.
We take those who can be useful, and we pay. That's how things work in our world.
Which means that once I'm no longer useful, I end up like the people on the ground over there.
That depends on how hard you work and what you decide to do.
Reyes laughed and went around behind Kaguri. She seemed to be moving casually, but since Suzuha didn't pounce, she probably hadn't left any openings. Taru, are you done yet? I was hitting my limit for buying time.
Well, take your time and think about it.
You have quite the high taste eye if you've noticed my talent.
High taste eye?
High quality taste and a discerning eye. You're American and you don't even know that? But that's fine. I take back what I said about your failures as a scientist. Since, after all, you recognize my talent.
I see. Then you accept my offer.
I refuse!
What?
Because I am Hoowin Kiyoma. A mad scientist must always be a solitary creature. He must never belong to anyone or anything at any time. That is his destiny. First Reyes seemed surprised, but then she exhaled a long sigh.
Well, feel free to take your time. Think it over until I'm done with her.
What are you going to do to Kaguri?
Suzuha still had her hands behind her head, but if looks could kill, Reyes would be dead already.
You know what I'm doing. I'm overriding her memories with Kurisu Makise's.
That's then in the other world line, maybe Derpa did that, and not Stratfor. And that wasn't all. It was the woman in the motorcycle suit who attacked the lab.
Don't make that face. I've used this technique on animals and a number of humans.
Reyes rubbed Kaguri's cheeks lovingly.
The system had a critical flaw until now, anyway. But this time, it's fixed. And she's highly compatible. I'm sure it will work fine.
Every single word she spoke, and she spoke so slowly, felt like it was drawing me in.
Kurisu's memories, her mind, will be recreated inside this girl. And then we won't have to worry about any black boxes locking away parts of her memories. She'll do whatever we tell her, and I'm sure she'll tell us all about the time machine. We won't need Kurisu's laptop or her hard drive. As long as we have her, we'll be fine.
Reyes brought her crimson lips next to Kaguri.
Tell me, Kaguri, you want to be Kurisu, right?
No! Kaguri, don't listen to her! But Kaguri didn't move at all.
Her genius mind will be yours. You can revolutionize the world. Won't that be wonderful? Well?
Kaguri's lips moved just a little.
Yes. Good girl.
Kaguri.
Rintaro, this was your choice too, you know? If you'd simply done as I'd asked, things might have turned out differently. And besides, you want to see Kurisu, don't you? A person is nothing but their memories. It's their memories who make them who they are. When Kaguri has Kurisu's memories, she'll become Kurisu. And you'll like that, won't you? And I'm sure Kurisu will too.
Shut up! I was surprised at how loud my voice had become. Kurisu would be happy? Hell no! Even if you do replace Kaguri's memories with Kurisu's, she won't be Kurisu. And she would never be happy to see her memories used like that. Don't you dare insult her. Don't you dare insult Kurisu Makise.
I see. That's a shame. But either way, the result doesn't change. You can just stand there and watch her mind be filled with the memories of the one you love.
Reyes started to tap commands into the computer next to her. Suzuha was still calm. She wasn't attacking Reyes because she was waiting for Daru's word. Daru, are you done yet?
Sorry, Ocarina, I'm so close.
Damn it!
Uncle,
Suzuha whispered to me.
we may have to give up on Kaguri. Once I move, get down.
Knowing Suzuha, she wouldn't hesitate.
Okay, all ready to go.
What do I do? Should I give up on her? I couldn't do that, could I? But either way, Kaguri was doomed.
All right then. Sayonara, Kaguri.
Reyes' thin fingers stretched out. And Suzuha moved. She closed the gap between her and Reyes in an instant. A gunshot rang out. Suzuha's body shot back and fell to the floor. Suzuha!
I thought you'd do that. Too bad, huh?
Reyes had expected that. And there was nothing I could do. Don't! Before I could stop her, Reyes hit the keyboard. Ah! What?
What's going on? Why isn't it working? It can't be this stupid thing. God damn it. Shit.
Reyes pounded the keyboard again and again, swearing. Was there a problem with the system?
Okarin.
Kaguri! There was a small light in Kaguri's empty eyes.
Bullshit.
With Reyes distracted, this was my chance. Kaguri, come with me!
Okarin.
Kaguri ripped the device off her head and stood up, managed to run a few steps before she fell over. Kaguri! I ran over and grabbed her. Reyes quickly brought her gun to bear. Another gunshot. I thought I'd been shot, but I hadn't. The gun knocked out of Reyes' hand was spinning on the floor.
Don't take another step.
Suzuha slowly stood up. She was holding the gun she'd placed on the ground. Suzuha, are you alright?
I suppose so.
Her shoulders were bloody, but it wasn't a fatal wound. And Suzuha just fucking shrugs off a gunshot. She was lucky to survive a gunshot wound at that range.
The tables have tables. The turns have God, I've been practicing this. The tables have turned.
You got me. I didn't expect to lose to a kid like you.
Reyes shrugged her shoulders in surrender.
But this isn't over yet, you know?
I said, don't move.
Reyes ignored her and picked up the strange headset that Kaguri had been wearing. Suzuha gripped her gun more tightly.
Just so we're all on the same page, I'm carrying a small bomb with me.
Oh shit, not small bombs.
I just bite down a little on my back teeth, and it explodes. At this rate, I'm sure you three would be caught up in it.
So you're going to kill yourself, is that it?
I've been trained to choose death rather than hand information over to the enemy, sadly.
You're bluffing.
If you think so, then shoot.
Suzuha moved to pull the trigger. Wait, Suzuha. Just believe in Daru for now. Reyes glanced at Suzuha, then slowly put the headset down over her own head. What are you trying to do?
You didn't want to use her either, did you, Amadeus? But you don't mind if I use someone else.
No. No way.
I told you, it won't end here.
Shoot the machine. Shoot the machine.
There was a madness in her eyes.
That's right, it was always so easy. There was never any need to use anyone else. I could have just done this myself. Now I will have Kurisu Makise's memories. I will have the time machine theory, and I will be the one to revolutionize the world.
No. No, don't. Don't use Kurisu's memories for that.
Yes, got it.
Daru!
Now I will rule time itself.
Daru, get rid of that file now!
Hold on, I'm looking for it now.
Reyes' fingers went for the keyboard. Don't!
It's okay. I'll make good use of the memories of the girl you love. I found it. I've got it, Okarin.
Delete it now, Daru. Set her. Set Kurisu free.
Okie dokie. Come into me, Kurisu.
Phrasing. Reyes' fingers touched the keyboard. Silence. Nothing happened. There was no light or loud noise. Like the phone wave. Of course there wasn't. It was all going on inside her head.
What? What just happened?
Reyes. She was in the exact same position as when she touched the keyboard. Completely unmoving. Did the memories download? I steeled myself to take a closer look. And Reyes collapsed to her knees. The light hit her face and I could finally see her expression. There was nothing there. No light, no darkness. Nothing. Just hollow, emptiness in her eyes. But that expression of joy she'd had when she touched the keyboard was frozen onto her cheeks.
Ocarine, she...
Daru was faster, by just an instant. The folder had been empty just before she downloaded the memories into her own mind. She filled her head with emptiness. And now nothing was left. Not the memories she'd had before. Not her own history, not her own desires. It was just an empty shell. It was just an empty shell. Kneeling on the ground, as if praying to God.
Ocarine?
Daru, you did it. It's all over. Everything is... I could hear Daru and Maho cheering from the earphone.
Let's go, Uncle. It's not a good idea to stay here.
You're right, Kaguri. Can you walk?
Yeah.
The only things left were dead bodies and a living corpse. Amadeus, the girl on the other side of the machine, was gone. She was gone from this world, along with the memories of the person I loved. I whispered softly to a girl who was no longer there. I'll see you again, Kurisu.
Time skip.
4 days.
Huh. Oh,
You know what? Never mind. These two are the least important. Actually, no. Fubuki actually does stuff.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Kaede. You're kind of the third wheel of the third wheel group.
Okay, Mayushi, we'll be back. Okay, bye. Luca, let's cosplay next time, okay? I'll think about it.
Ocarine, everyone, thank you for having us over.
Was that her voice? Probably.
Yes, come back anytime. What is it?
Ocarine, you kinda changed.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, you seem a lot easier to talk to now.
Come on, Fubuki. It's rude to say that to his face.
What? You were saying it 2 minutes ago, Kaede.
Hey. Sheesh.
Oh, then I guess I'll be going too.
You've got work again today?
Yep, I'll call you when I'm off. Let's make plans for this weekend, all right? You big lug? Bunk,
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
bunk.
What? What is this? Daru-nyan and Yuki-nyan seem like they're an item, nya?
Do we? But my love for you will never change, Ferriston.
Come on, Dad. Not again.
It had been several days since then. All the chaos with Amadeus and Kurisu's memories had calmed down, and normal life had resumed. There had been no official announcements about what had happened in the basement of Tokyo Denki University. The next day, the basement had been sealed off because of what was described as a lab accident. The military, or maybe Stratfor, had covered it up. And since then, we hadn't seen anything strange going on around us. There should have been no traces that we were ever there. Probably weren't going to come after us.
Anyway, what happened back there?
Back there?
When that woman tried to down Kurisu Makise's memories into Kaguri. It didn't work, right?
Think it was just a system error?
Daru-nyan's right. You probably shouldn't overthink it, nya.
I don't know. It's just been bothering me is all.
Come to think of it, when that happened...
Kaguri seemed to have been thinking of something. She opened her mouth to speak.
No, but...
Come on, Kaguri. Don't stop your sentence halfway through. You're just making me wonder more.
I thought I heard a voice back then.
A voice?
Yeah, there was someone in my head saying no. I don't really remember all that happened, so maybe it was just a dream.
Amadeus. Could it have been Amadeus? Maybe at the last second she refused to allow her memories to override Kaguri's.
That's not a very logical opinion to be coming from you, Maho. But Lukako and Mayuri stared at each other when they heard Maho's words.
The last time we activated Amadeus, the call cut off halfway through. Your bot was talking, but she seemed like she was in a really big hurry and hung up.
Could that have been when it happened?
But is that even possible?
I don't know. But Amadeus is just like a human, right? She has self-defense instincts. We taught her computer jitsu. So how it's possible she realized her memories were going to be used for something wrong?
In a different world line, Kurisu's memories had once existed inside of Kaguri. Maybe Kurisu had saved Kaguri from experiencing that same fate here. There may have been another reason, but at least that was what I wanted to think.
Hey, Okarin, there's something I don't understand too.
What's that?
You were saying that Amadeus caused a lot of world line changes before now, right? But if we still remember what happened, that means the world line didn't change, right? Why is that?
Oh, that? I thought about it right after what had happened. Just a guess, but I think whenever I'd done something involve Amadeus, it caused Kurisu's memories to fall into someone's hands. Whoever had gotten the memories had used them to rewrite the past. But this time we deleted Kurisu's memories. It means there's no world line change. The cause of the battle between Stratfor and Durpa was gone, and we gotten rid of the data that Kurisu had left behind. The future created by Kurisu's memories was gone, but Suzuha and Kaguri were still here. If they were still here, then the future hadn't changed that much. Of course, I knew that. Unless I could reach Steins Gate, the worldline convergence wouldn't change, but that didn't mean that this was for nothing. There was that small flash of insight I had felt in 2036. This world was another step towards it.
So, what's the plan now?
I don't know, you all want to go to Fuddruckers? What? Always wanted to go. Don't you just want to say that you've been to Fuddruckers?
Absolutely.
Oh, there's a lot to do, but first, I took something out of the pocket of my white lab coat. I have a present for everyone.
What's this?
Lab member badges. It identifies every one of us as members of the lab. Oh. OSHMKUFAHSA. That's Okabe, Shina, Hashida, Makise, who's number... Kiryu, Urushibara, Barris, Amane, right? And then Piaggio, Shina again, and then Amane again. Is that last one for Amane? Did Yuki get inducted?
I suppose so.
Of course, Kurisu and Muekas were on there as well. Added in Maho Hiajo, Kaguri Shina, and Yuki Amane as well. Hey, I got it! Accepting the past for what it was and connecting it to the future. That was my job right now.
A lab member.
Kaguri held the badge to her chest happily.
I've got another treasure now.
The path that lay before me might be even harder than the one I traveled so far, but I knew the light was still there at the end of it.
I think I understand why Kurisu and Okarin became friends.
I finally realized why my dad and everyone else relied on him so much.
And I know why Mommy always loved him, too. Kaguri, that's not right. Mayushi is Okarin's hostage. So, it's not like... Wait, what? How come Okarin gets all the chicks? Blow up and die.
I'm the protagonist. I seem to have a harem for some reason.
You've got Mom, Dad.
Many different futures and many different pasts. Where they all converge on know I will find you. So... Yes, it's me. What? When am I coming to save you? Don't panic. Now is not the appointed hour. Who do you think I am? Listen, I am the mad scientist Toa Kiyoma, and I never go back on my word. So for now, just wait. I shall release you from the chains of time that bind you. Yes, I promise. Kurisu, Until the day comes that we meet, all I have I give to you. El Sai Kongru.
Okay.
Yay! Oh, there's more? Oh. December 2011. Akihabara. A year after all the chaos, Maho visited the Future Gadget Lab for the first time in a long while.
Oh, she's here.
Hey, what up?
Is it chugging again?
It's chugging again. I don't know.
Could you pull up the thingy so I can see why?
I think the problem is that... Here, hold on, everyone. We're going to do some live...
I really want to know what's up and why it is chugging. I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, it's not... Oh, it's back.
I see nothing's changed around here.
Yeah, looks like not much has changed with you either. Why am I still here?
I know I'm still short. You don't have to tell me. God,
That wasn't what I meant.
I know. It was a joke. What's wrong?
I've been so lonely without you for the past year, Maho.
Wait, you don't need to grab me like that.
But...
I'm sorry. I wanted to come back during the summer, but a lot happened at university.
The events of last January had left deep scars on Maho's lab. Of course they had. Not only was Amadeus involved, but many people in the college, including Dr. Reyes, had been involved as well. Thank you for coming all this way, Maho.
Yeah, no problem. I was part of this too, you know. I've got a responsibility to see it through to the end.
But are you sure? All the cleanup work you did over the last year will go to waste.
It won't go to waste. You're the one who said this world's future would connect to the past, right? So I done what I can in this world.
Yes, you're right. I was supposed to die in 2025, but I was still alive. Everyone had been fooled. The past me, everyone in the future, the world had been deceived. I thought the future was certain, but instead I found a future I didn't expect. So, wouldn't I be able to deceive the world as well? And by doing so, avoid the future that awaited us. And if I could deceive the world, maybe I could find Steins Gate. But how to do so, unfortunately, was beyond me right now. But the future me had said,
The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. I think that many futures are connected to the past. So this world we are in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least that's what I think.
many futures all connected to the past. That meant that there was only one thing for me to do.
Ashita, you finish it?
Of course, it's ready to go.
An old microwave, sitting in the back of the development room. The time leap machine Maho had helped to finish. Daru had added a new function to it.
Still, hard to believe this thing controls the fate of the world, huh?
That's right, everything began here. Our fate and Kurisu's had all been ruined by this device. The one difference between this and the old phone wave was that this was connected to a smartphone, not an old feature phone. Text messages to the past would be detected by CERN no matter what I did, which meant that we'd become a target. It would mean taking this world that had gained only at the cost of sacrificing Kurisu right back to where we started. There would be no point in that. But there were other ways to communicate now beyond simple text messages. There were other ways to send messages. The software we use now, Rhine, was one of them.
I call it the D-Rhine.
Of course, the idea of using the electrons of the CRT television in the Braun Tube workshop to control gravity and create a singularity to send that message back in time was exactly the same, and the amount we would send was still 18 characters, same as the D-mail. But we didn't have to worry about CERN finding it. We didn't have to worry about Mayuri being killed. The only problem was that we couldn't send messages back before we started using Rhine, but there's nothing I could do about that. The most important thing to do right now was to make it possible.
Sheesh, it was pretty hard to find a way to make sure no one would detect it.
Is it? In their universe, because isn't Rhine meant to be something that Daru specifically developed that's not in, like, popular use yet? Like, I know it's analogous to Line, but this takes place before Line was mass adopted. So,
I mean, it
it's a
would
niche
seem
program
that
that's
sending stuff back in time through, well, right, because this isn't using their wormhole, their black hole, right? Because this isn't the time leap machine. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
It took forever to find a place they weren't watching.
He complained, but he had pulled it off anyway. That's my favorite right arm.
What?
Hey, haven't heard that in a while. But are you sure about this, Okarin?
That's right. This may only bring you more pain, Kyoma.
Maybe you're right,
Then...
but I have to do it anyway.
Okarin,
The Third World War was going to happen unless I could stop it. Kagari and Suzuha's presence made that obvious. There was only one future that lay before us, but it was another piece of the path that would lead us to Steins Gate. To get there, I would have to go into the past, and I would have to start over. It would be fine. I was capable of starting over as many times as I needed to now. I could overcome anything. Until I reached that promised door, I already had the message I was going to send. Sending that message must have been why I'd come to this worldline in the first place. Of course, I didn't know what I'd think or what I'd do when I received it, but I knew I would be successful. I would lead us to another future and to another past.
Kagari, are you nervous? If the past changes and the world's at peace, maybe I'll never see Mommy. Kagari.
Don't worry.
Huh?
Tractor field theory says that what's supposed to happen will still happen. Even if the world line changes, you'll see Mayuri again.
Really?
Yes, I guarantee it. No matter what happens, your parents will still die terribly.
Yay!
That is where we're coming down on this, right?
Mommy. Isn't that nice, Kagari? Okarin guarantees it, so I'm sure it's true. I'll see you in the future, okay? Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle. There's no need to thank me. I sowed the seeds of all this anyway, and this was where things got really hard.
Oh, let me say it anyway. Thank you.
Say that to Daddy, too. Please say it to your daddy.
Thanks, Dad.
More. Look up at me with dewy eyes and say it again, my daughter.
When the past changed, everything I had done in the past year would be undone. All the futures I'd experienced and all the time it took me to come back would go away as well, but they wouldn't go to waste. I was here now, and in the past I was just about to begin my work. And then the future that lay beyond. When all those lives came together, the door to the future would be waiting. Steins Gate would be waiting. It is time. In the name of Hoowin Kyoma, I now initiate Operation Helheim. Lab members, are you ready? To find the way there, I would change the past again.
Unimpressed Maho is good.
Okie dokie.
I mean, alright, whatevs.
Kurisu, so that someday we can be together once more. Deceive the world. Connect the possibilities. The world can be tricked.
All right.
Hell yeah! There's probably a post-credit sequence as well, but this is awesome. I'm having fun with this. He kind of had to get his ass kicked a little bit to get him back into it, but I don't know. There's something great about seeing Ho and Kiyoma come up again. Like, I like how in the universe some of the characters are like,
What the fuck is going on with her?
but like, nah. I mean, they love their dorky little otaku friend.
That they do.
This is a different credit song. We've already seen all the credits, so I am going to skip it, but I wanted to know that this is different and it sounds cool.
All right.
D. Rhine was sent. Promise Renacimento completed. New item was added to CG Library. Oh. Never
Progress
mind.
was made this fine day.
I guess that's just where it ends. Let's see. Let's see the clear list. Was that Rhea's ending?
Probably.
No,
It was
that's
not.
Kurisu ending.
Okay, interesting.
Kurisu got an ending in this one. Okay. So one of these is true end, and one of them is the one that leads up to true end, from my understanding.
Okay, fair enough.
Neat. Well then.
I suppose we'll just have to see you next time.
Space? Space?
Time.
Time space. Here it is. That's where that Maho comes from. That's such a good Maho face. I've seen that Maho face around and I didn't know where it was from, and this is very delightful. Oh.
I don't know what the hell's happening here, but all right.
Where's the Mane though? Where's Yuki?
At work.
Yuki's at work.
Stratford.
Yuki's at work, and Moeka wasn't invited. Oh, well. Anyway, we'll see you all next time for what I believe will be the final two endings. From my understanding, one kind of runs into the other as long as you've done all the other endings first,
Alrighty.
according to my clear guide. So it should be the final stretch.
Sounds
Strap
like a
in and
plan.
strap on, everyone. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Wait.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.